Coming up today on Channel 97 News.
Students show off their special talents at the Nottleman Auditorium.
Cheerleaders make some noise during this challenging school year.
And we'll take a look at an activity that has some jumping for joy.
All that and more on today's edition of Channel 97 News.
And it all starts now. Hi Oakville, I'm Nate Rouse.
And I'm Isabella Worthland, and welcome to this year's first edition of Channel 97 News.
The junior ring dance might have been canceled, but OHS still found a way to celebrate. Let's have a look.
Despite the annual junior ring dance being canceled, Oakville still wanted to do something special for the junior class.
Junior ring is one of the most popular events at Oakville High School. It was a real bummer that we couldn't do it this year, but we still wanted to do something that was a little bit different, and that was not just a stop by the office, pick up your ring, or drive through or something like that.
On February 10th and 11th, the juniors were able to pick up their rings, get superlatives, and hang out with their friends in Gym B.
This little dance thing is kind of cool. At time at A&P, I was going to do homework, but I can now relax and take pictures with friends and have a good time. It's nice to have an experience I can talk about later in life.
I think that this is definitely better than nothing, but I wish that we still had a dance.
The junior ring, one of the things that's special about it is it's just the junior class, so it's kind of specific to one group. And I think it's been nice that it's been just juniors down here getting an opportunity to kind of hang out and just see your classmates.
This is my ring. It is very dripped out. I spent a lot of time on this, and I will put this up in my house whenever I get a house.
With Meg Heverow and JoJo LeBrier behind the camera, I'm Katie Leaker for Channel 97 News.
That's Mama's money right there.
Mama's money.
The modified version of Junior Ring seemed to go on without a hitch.
Speaking of making the show go on, Oakville's Got Talent worked a little different this year.
Abby Rudd has the story.
With a limited number of spectators on hand, 7 students from the Melville School District showcased their talents at the annual Oakville's Got Talent competition. The show was held February 12th at the Nottleman Auditorium. It featured performances from both high school and middle school students. In the middle school competition, the winner was Emery Nelson. The middle school runner-up was Huda Hamadallah. In the high school competition, the second place went to Ella Strickland. And the high school winner of Oakville's Got Talent,
drum roll please, Mr. Gavin Sandoval!
It's been difficult to try and find out what my actual range is at this point. 7th grade I won People's Choice, and 8th grade I won Judge's Choice. But high school I was having no luck. My voice was changing so much, I was completely lost. So I think I'm finally at the point where I can say I kind of know where I'm going with my voice and what I want to do. I was really confident about last year. I felt good about it. I sang Die a Happy Man by Thomas Rhett, and it went well. I think my main issue was stage presence, which I tried to fix this year by moving around. But yeah, it was nice.
With Avery Neal behind the camera, I'm Abby Rudd for Channel 97 News.
Congratulations to all of the contestants.
Next, Nate takes us to the Arnold Food Pantry.
There are people that are day in and day out hungry. So we have children that wake up every morning and wonder if they're going to get a breakfast and a lunch and a dinner.
This and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic were the calls to action for Ed Fitzhenry and other volunteers at the Arnold Food Pantry.
I could do something better for the community that's in need of food.
It's a good way to give back to the community, especially during the pandemic.
They're just wonderful people, and they care about what we do. They like each other. They work well with each other. We could not open our doors if we didn't have these wonderful volunteers.
With the combined stress of the pandemic and the recent holiday season, the staff had to face new challenges.
Definitely more busy. And part of that's because we've had to reorient the way that we go about distributing food. And so let's say over a 2-month period of time, the holiday season, perhaps that might be 2,000, 2,500 persons. Again, through the holidays, people have been extremely generous. But the reality is people are hungry in January, February, and March.
If you or anyone you know is interested in helping those in need, go to www.wefeedthehungry.org to find out more. With Matthew Churko behind the camera, I'm Nate Rouse for Channel 97 News.
Hopefully the shelter gets the volunteers they need.
In sports, congratulations to Meg Heverow and Mason Minersagan. Meg placed second in the 500 freestyle and 7th in the 50 freestyle at last week's girls' state swim meet. Mason made it to state for the second year in a row in diving. She placed 11th in this year's competition. 5 OHS wrestlers will compete in the sectional tournament this weekend, February 27th at Northwest High School. The Tigers finished 10-5 in dual meets this year. Both boys and girls basketball teams are getting ready for district play. The boys will host Melville this Saturday at 3 p.m.
Sports during the pandemic has been challenging. Let's see how the cheerleaders navigate these difficult times.
The Tigers are here in black, gold, and white.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed many aspects of life, and the cheer program is no exception.
I think the biggest change is that the girls aren't able to stunt this year, which means that they're not able to pick each other up, touch each other, do anything like that. So it's changed our practices. It's definitely changed our performances. Rather than working on music routines for a couple weeks and then performing them at the games, instead the girls have had to do longer, more like collegiate sideline cheers. But I know that a big part of why we love cheer and what we do is the stunting, so that's kind of been a downer, but we're getting through it.
The biggest challenge is probably losing girls because of the COVID and all that, and having to work around that.
One thing that was really hard for me and something that I had to get over was just the fact that it's my senior year, and I don't really get to do build my last homecoming float or go to my last cheer camp or stunt or perform for the last time, so that was kind of a bummer.
Despite all the changes, the cheerleaders are staying positive.
They've been champs. They have showed up. I haven't had an attendance problem. Everyone has been super positive. More really focused on what can we do rather than what we can't do. I think it's been really great at making us slow down and focus on fundamentals, so jumps and tumbling and just motions and technique.
We are working positive. We are coming up with ideas when girls are out and what to do during half times because we don't have those performances and all that stuff.
With Meg Heverow and Katie Leaker behind the camera, I'm Natalie Baker for Channel 97 News.
Kudos to the cheerleaders for adapting this season.
Isabella, did you know Mr. Gertis does photography in his free time?
I did, but Eva Vidal and Riley Heather can tell us more.
Mr. Gertis, being a history teacher, obviously has a passion for history. But what you may not know is he has also had a passion for photography from a young age.
My parents are huge fans of photography. They actually had a darkroom in their basement for a while when I was a kid. And so my dad's kind of a gear guy, so he has all this stuff. They always made sure I had a camera, so I started shooting photography on film, but not really technically, just point and shoot cameras. It's a great way to go for a walk without just doing the walk for the sake of the walk. You're out in nature, and I can't draw or do other art of that sort, and so photography gives you a chance to do that. And with the digital photography that they have today and the software that you can use to do editing on photos, you can really do so much to be expressive in how you want to portray the topic or subject of interest to you. I like to do landscape photography. So,
Mr. Gertis's passion has taken him many different places, including
national parks all over the West, all 5 of the big national parks in southern Utah, Yellowstone National Park up in Wyoming, and other parks out west as well, without trying to give you a whole big list of them. But you can do a lot of photography around here. So, I went down to state parks around here, just local county parks. It's amazing some of the pictures you can get in the local area. I got a really neat picture, at least I think it is, up at the Riverlands Bird Complex up near Alton, Illinois as well, just about a month ago.
Out of all the places Mr. Gertis has been, his favorite photo is from Wind Cave National Park.
This wasn't taken in the park's cave. It was along the park's road above ground, we were going along kind of a prairie mountain area, and there was a storm coming in, and you had all the dramatic clouds, and you could see the rain coming down. And then I just stopped at a pull-off, jumped out of the car with the camera. There was a tree there, framed it with the rain, and took the shot. And I'm like, wow, you didn't I didn't plan that one or anything. It's just you on the spur of the moment saw it. And I think that's probably one of my better shots. I've taken a few this year with the newer gear as I've worked at it that I'm pretty happy with as well.
With Riley Heather behind the camera, I'm Eva Beidel for Channel 97 News.
Wow, he sure is talented.
Yes, he is. And in our next story, you'll see lots of talented flips and tricks.
Mackenzie Deutschman has the story.
Most people love visiting trampoline parks, whether it is for exercise or just pure entertainment. At Defy, there are plenty of fun things to do.
So essentially it's a trampoline park, but we also have a bunch of different things. We have a rock wall, we have dodgeball, we have basketball, we have a trapeze bar and a swing, we have trampolines that jump into foam pits, we have super trampolines.
However, since 2016, a new sport takes place on the trampolines.
Wall tramping is essentially an Olympic trampoline that is squared off by a bunch of different walls. And the idea behind it is to bounce on your back on the Olympic trampolines to push yourself up the wall and essentially walk or run up the wall. A lot of people that are first learning wall tramping don't really understand that instead of pushing off of the wall, you want to push down into the trampoline, because the harder you bounce on the trampoline, the higher you'll go up, which makes it easier. And that was something that took me a while to actually learn. Also, a big thing that a lot of wall trampers need are grip, because whenever you're trying to run up the wall, you need to be able to grip onto it to push yourself higher and higher. Typically, a lot of professional people that do wall tramping wear their own shoes, but here at Defy, you're not allowed to wear shoes. So we do offer grip socks, but me personally, I like to do it in what's called running shoes or ninja boots.
Wall tramping has become a huge deal over the past couple years. Now, in 2021, there are professional wall trampers who compete against one another. If you plan on visiting Defy, please remember to wear your mask at all times. Thanks for watching, Oakville. I'm Mackenzie Deutschman for Channel 97 News.
Things sure have changed since the start of the pandemic. Ava Hounsome explores this topic with Oakville students.
With COVID-19 going on around the world, there are many activities and little things people cannot do anymore. Here are some OHS students who tell us what they miss.
One thing I enjoyed doing before COVID is seeing my grandparents, but now I can't anymore because they're in a high-risk group.
Now because of COVID, I will not be drinking out of water fountains.
Before COVID, I was able to go see Blues games at Enterprise Center.
Because of COVID, I don't like that I have to go through a certain entrance or exit at like Schnucks or Deerbergs.
Before COVID, we were able to have big student section at the hockey games, but now we can't because of the limitation.
Before COVID, I could go to the gym at any time without a mask.
Something that I used to do before COVID is go up to Quick Trip and get a slushie with my friends.
You can't go to school with all your friends because you're divided by last name.
Before COVID, I was able to go out to restaurants without a mask on.
Before COVID, I was able to walk into school without a mask on.
Something you could do before COVID was testing out samples at makeup stores.
Something you could do before COVID is you could go to concerts, and now you can't go to concerts because of social distancing and also the limitation of how many people.
I think it's fair to say that we are ready to get back to our normal lives. With Joe Rass behind the camera, I'm Ava Hounsome for Channel 97 News.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Channel 97 News.
If you would like to see more of our content and stay up to date on what's happening here at Oakville, be sure to visit myohsonline.com.
You can even bookmark it on your browser so you can check it out anytime you'd like. We post new stories all the time.
Thank you for joining us, Oakville. I'm Isabella Worthland.
And I'm Nate Rouse. And remember, Oakville, keep your eyes on the Tigers.